What God does in your heart while you sleep, a prayer of faith and strengthening for your life. Night has arrived. The world outside is slowly becoming quiet. The noise of the day is fading. Cars pass less frequently. Voices disappear behind closed doors. Lights begin to turn off one by one as people settle into their homes, seeking rest after another long day. But even when the world becomes silent, something inside the human heart often remains awake. Maybe that is exactly what is happening to you right now. You lie down, hoping that sleep will come quickly. You want your mind to slow down. You want your body to release the tension that the day placed on your shoulders. Yet the moment everything becomes quiet, your thoughts begin to move. Memories appear without warning. Questions begin to form. Small worries that seemed manageable during the daylight suddenly grow louder in the silence of the night. You try to relax. You close your eyes. But the heart begins to whisper things you were able to ignore while the day was busy. Perhaps today was heavier than you expected. Maybe you faced situations that demanded strength you did not know if you had. Maybe you carried responsibilities, conversations, decisions, and emotions that stayed with you long after the day ended. Sometimes the body becomes tired before the mind is ready to rest. Sometimes the heart continues searching for answers long after the world has gone quiet. You may find yourself replaying moments from earlier today. Words someone spoke that you did not expect. A conversation that left you uncertain. A situation you wish you had handled differently. And in the stillness of the night, these moments seem to return with unusual clarity. Why do certain memories return when the room becomes quiet? Why do certain fears appear when the lights are turned off? Why does the heart revisit questions that the noise of the day managed to hide? These are the moments when many people begin to feel alone with their thoughts. The room is quiet, the house is still, but inside, the mind continues to move, the heart continues to search, searching for peace, searching for reassurance, searching for the quiet confidence that everything will eventually be okay. Perhaps you tried to remain strong throughout the day. You handled responsibilities. You showed patience. You carried burdens that others may not even realize you were carrying. But the night has a way of revealing what the day often hides. It reveals the tiredness behind the strength. It reveals the questions behind the calm expression. It reveals the quiet longing that lives deep inside the soul. Sometimes the most difficult part of the night is not the darkness of the room. It is the noise that comes from within, the thoughts that refuse to settle, the emotions that ask for attention, the deep desire for peace that seems just out of reach. And if this moment feels familiar to you tonight, you are not strange for feeling this way. You are not weak because your heart is searching. You are simply human. Many people experience this same quiet struggle when the world finally becomes silent. Yet there is something about this moment that most people do not realize. There is something about these quiet hours that carries a hidden purpose. Something begins to happen when the noise of the day finally fades away. Something that cannot easily happen while life is rushing forward. In these silent moments, the heart becomes open. The soul becomes aware. The deepest parts of your life begin to surface. And sometimes, what feels like restlessness is actually the beginning of something sacred. Stay with me for a few moments. Do not rush this quiet space. Because before this prayer ends tonight, you will begin to understand something that many people overlook about the night. You will discover that the moments when the body finally slows down are often the moments when something deeper begins to move within the heart. There is a work that happens in silence, a work that does not depend on noise, activity, or effort. And what God does in your heart while you sleep may be far greater than anything you could accomplish while you are awake. Maybe before lying down tonight, you checked your phone one last time. Just for a moment, not because you expected something important, but because a small part of you hoped to see a message waiting. a sign that someone remembered you, a word that could make the day feel lighter. You looked at the screen. The notifications were quiet. No new message, no unexpected call, just the same stillness that followed you into the night. Sometimes silence can speak louder than words. It can leave the heart wondering. Did I do something wrong? Did something change? Why does everything feel so uncertain lately? Then the mind begins to revisit moments from the day. Small conversations replay themselves in quiet detail. Words that seemed ordinary earlier now carry different meanings when remembered in the darkness. Perhaps someone said something that stayed with you longer than you expected. Perhaps there was tension in a relationship that you cannot easily fix. Perhaps there are things in your life that feel unresolved, as if they are waiting for an answer that has not arrived. And when the world becomes quiet, the heart notices these things more deeply. You look around the room. Everything is still. The walls hold no conversation. The air carries no answers. The quiet space around you becomes a mirror reflecting the emotions you carried all day without speaking about them. This is when many hearts begin to feel a certain loneliness, not necessarily because there are no people in your life, but because some burdens cannot easily be explained to others. Some worries live silently inside the soul. You may have responsibilities that few people fully understand, pressures that remain invisible to those around you, decisions that weigh on your mind long after the day is over. Perhaps you are waiting for something to change, waiting for a door to open, waiting for clarity about the future, waiting for a situation to improve, waiting for peace to return to a place in your life that once felt stable. Waiting is one of the quiet struggles of the heart. During the day, distractions help pass the time, work fills the hours, conversations occupy the mind, responsibilities demand attention, but the night removes those distractions. And in that stillness, the heart begins to ask deeper questions. Where is my life going? Why do some prayers seem to take longer to answer? Why do certain seasons feel heavier than others? Why do some battles continue longer than expected? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs that the heart is searching for meaning, searching for reassurance that the path ahead is not empty. Yet in these quiet moments, another dangerous thought can slowly appear. It is the thought that whispers that you are alone in this struggle, that perhaps no one truly understands what you are feeling, that perhaps your worries are yours to carry without help. But that thought is not the truth. The quiet hours of the night can make burdens feel larger than they really are. The absence of noise can magnify the questions that already live inside the heart. Still, the very moment that feels like isolation may actually be something very different. It may be an invitation to pause, an invitation to listen, an invitation to discover that even in the quietest room, you are not as alone as your thoughts may suggest. Something is happening in this moment, even if your eyes cannot see it, even if your mind has not recognized it yet. The heart is opening, the soul is becoming aware, and in this quiet space, where worries rise to the surface, something deeper begins to move beneath them. There is a reason why some of the most important moments of clarity arrive in silence. There is a reason why the night often reveals truths that the daylight hides. Stay here for a moment longer, because what you are feeling right now may not be the end of your story. In fact, this quiet moment may be the very beginning of something sacred that is unfolding in your life tonight. What if this restless feeling tonight is not a sign that something is wrong with you? What if the thoughts moving through your mind are not simply noise, but signals that something deeper inside your heart is asking for attention? Many people believe that a peaceful life means never feeling unsettled. They imagine that strength means always being calm, always being certain, always having the answers. But the human heart does not work that way. There are moments in life when questions appear because the soul is growing. There are seasons when uncertainty rises because something inside us is changing, and sometimes the night reveals that process. When the day is busy, the mind focuses on tasks. There are schedules to follow, responsibilities to handle, conversations to manage. The movement of life keeps the deeper questions hidden beneath the surface. But when the night comes, the pace of the world slows down. The noise disappears. The distractions fade. And suddenly the heart becomes aware of things it could not hear during the day. This can feel uncomfortable at first. The mind may interpret the silence as emptiness. The heart may interpret the questions as weakness. Yet, what if the opposite is true? What if these quiet moments are not signs of something breaking inside you, but signs of something awakening? There are seasons when the soul begins to seek something deeper than routine. It begins to question what truly matters. It begins to notice areas of life that need healing, direction, or renewal. These moments rarely arrive in the middle of busy days. They arrive when the world becomes quiet enough for the heart to listen. That is why the night can feel so intense. The stillness creates space for awareness. The silence creates room for reflection. The darkness removes distractions and allows the deeper parts of the soul to surface. It may feel like restlessness. It may feel like uncertainty, but sometimes it is simply the beginning of clarity. Most people assume that when they fall asleep, everything inside them pauses. They imagine that rest means inactivity. But the deeper parts of life do not follow the same rhythm as the visible world. There are moments when the most important changes inside the heart happen slowly, quietly, almost unnoticed. A person may not realize it in the moment. They only recognize it later. They notice that their perspective has shifted. They discover that a fear no longer holds the same power. They realize that something inside them has grown stronger without them forcing it. These quiet transformations often begin in the spaces where the soul becomes still enough to listen. And tonight may be one of those moments for you. This quiet room, this gentle silence, this pause between the busyness of yesterday and the unknown of tomorrow. It may feel ordinary, but it carries a hidden invitation, an invitation to stop fighting every thought, an invitation to stop demanding immediate answers, an invitation to allow something deeper to unfold. Because sometimes the heart does not need more effort. Sometimes it needs space, space to breathe, space to release the weight it has been carrying, space to remember that not every battle must be solved tonight. And in that space, something beautiful begins to happen. Peace does not arrive all at once. It begins quietly. It begins when the heart realizes that it does not need to control everything to move forward. It begins when the soul accepts that there is a presence greater than its worries. That presence does not disappear when the lights turn off. That presence does not fade when questions appear. In fact, the night may be one of the moments when that presence becomes closest. Stay with me for a moment longer, because what you are experiencing tonight may not be random at all. This quiet restlessness may be preparing your heart for something greater, and in the next moments, you will begin to understand what God is already doing inside your heart while you sleep. There is something extraordinary about the night that many people never fully understand. When the body becomes still and the eyes close, it may seem as though nothing important is happening. The room is quiet. The world outside continues its slow rhythm. The hours move forward in silence. Yet the spiritual life does not follow the same rhythm as the visible world. Long before you opened your eyes this morning, before you faced the challenges of the day, before you carried the thoughts that now rest on your mind, there was already a presence watching over your life. The scriptures reveal this truth in a simple but powerful way. In Psalm 4:8 it says, "I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." These words carry more meaning than they appear to at first glance. They remind us that sleep is not only a physical act, it is also a moment of trust. When a person closes their eyes at night, they release control of the hours ahead. They cannot watch every situation. They cannot solve every problem. They cannot guard every detail of tomorrow. Sleep is the quiet act of surrender. And it is in that surrender that something beautiful begins to happen. While the body rests, God continues working. While the mind slows down, God strengthens the heart. While the world grows silent, God remains present. The Bible speaks about this again in Psalm 121. It says that the one who watches over you will not slumber nor sleep. Think about that truth for a moment. Human strength has limits. The mind becomes tired. The body requires rest. Even the strongest person must eventually close their eyes and allow the day to end. But the care of God does not depend on human energy. God does not grow tired. God does not lose awareness of your life. God does not become distracted by the passage of time. While you sleep, He watches. While you rest, He guards. While your thoughts grow quiet, He continues to move in ways you may not immediately see. There are situations in life that feel too complex for the human mind to solve. Problems that seem to stretch beyond our understanding. Questions that remain unanswered no matter how much we think about them. Yet the work of God does not depend on our ability to figure everything out. Many times, the deepest work that God does inside a person begins when that person finally releases the weight they have been carrying. Not because the problems disappear instantly, but because the heart begins to trust that it does not have to face them alone. While you sleep, God can calm storms you cannot control. While you sleep, God can strengthen parts of your heart that felt worn down by the day. While you sleep, God can begin restoring hope that slowly faded under the pressure of worry. The quiet hours of the night are not empty moments. They are sacred spaces where the soul is allowed to rest under the care of a faithful God. Perhaps you cannot see the changes immediately. Perhaps tomorrow will not reveal every answer at once. But something begins during these quiet hours. Something gentle. Something powerful. Something that moves beneath the surface of the heart. Tonight, before you close your eyes, we will open the heart in a deeper way. We will walk through 9 simple words that carry profound meaning for the soul. 9 moments of honesty, 9 moments of surrender. 9 spiritual doors that allow peace to enter the heart little by little. Each word is simple, yet each word opens space for something sacred to happen within you. And as you move through these moments tonight, something inside you will begin to settle. The weight will grow lighter. The mind will grow quieter. The heart will remember that it is not facing life alone, because the same God who watches over the night is already at work within you. And what He is doing in your heart while you sleep may be preparing the strength you will need for tomorrow. Before anything else is said tonight, before any request is made, there is a simple moment that opens the door of the heart. It is the moment when a person stops running from their own thoughts and simply becomes present. Many people spend their entire day responding to the expectations of the world. They move from one responsibility to another. They answer messages. They complete tasks. They carry conversations. They meet obligations that demand their attention from morning until evening. In the middle of all this movement, it becomes easy to forget something very important. It becomes easy to forget to simply pause and acknowledge where the heart truly is. Tonight is an opportunity for that pause. Not a pause filled with pressure or complicated words, just a quiet moment of honesty. You do not have to impress anyone in this moment. You do not have to appear strong. You do not have to hide the parts of your life that feel uncertain or unfinished. The night is a space where the heart can be sincere. In the stillness of this moment, allow yourself to breathe slowly and recognize where you truly are in life right now. Perhaps you feel tired, not only physically but emotionally. Perhaps you feel that you have been carrying many responsibilities for a long time. Responsibilities that others may not fully see. Responsibilities that require patience, endurance, and constant effort. Or perhaps your heart is not tired in that way. Perhaps it is searching for direction, searching for clarity about the future, searching for reassurance that the path you are walking is leading somewhere meaningful. Every person carries a unique story inside their heart. Some stories include victories that have already been experienced. Others include challenges that are still unfolding. But regardless of where you find yourself tonight, there is a powerful truth that remains the same. You do not need to arrive here as a perfect person. You only need to arrive as an honest one. There is something deeply powerful about the moment when a person stops pretending and simply acknowledges their presence before God. No performance, no complicated explanation, just a quiet recognition. Here I am. These three words may seem small, yet they carry great meaning. They express humility, they express openness, they express a willingness to be seen completely. When a person says, "Here I am," they are not claiming to have everything figured out. They are simply acknowledging their place in this moment of life. Here I am with my questions. Here I am with my hopes. Here I am with my worries. Here I am with the parts of my life that still need healing. Here I am with the parts of my life that I do not fully understand yet. And strangely, this honesty becomes the beginning of peace. Because peace rarely enters a heart that is hiding. Peace enters when the heart opens. Tonight, you are not required to present a perfect version of yourself. You are invited to bring your real self into this quiet moment. Your thoughts, your emotions, your questions, your expectations for tomorrow. Everything that lives inside you right now can be brought into this moment of presence. Just quietly allow these words to settle in your heart. Here I am, not running, not hiding, not pretending, just present. And something beautiful begins the moment the heart reaches this place. Because the God who watches over your life does not require perfection before he listens. He responds to sincerity. He responds to openness. He responds to the quiet voice of a heart that is willing to be known. Tonight, before sleep arrives, let this be the first doorway your heart walks through. A doorway of honesty, a doorway of presence, a doorway where the soul simply says what it has perhaps needed to say all along. Here I am. Once the heart has reached the quiet honesty of saying, "Here I am," another truth often rises gently to the surface. It is a truth that many people try to avoid during the busy hours of the day. The truth that no human life was designed to carry everything alone. From the outside, many people appear strong. They handle responsibilities, they make decisions, they provide for others, they continue moving forward even when the path feels uncertain. Strength becomes a habit, endurance becomes normal, and over time, a quiet belief may begin to grow inside the heart, the belief that asking for help is weakness, the belief that everything must be managed through personal effort alone. But the soul was never created to live in isolation. Deep within every human heart lives a natural awareness that we need guidance, we need peace, and we need a presence greater than our own strength. This awareness often becomes clearer at night. During the day, distractions can hide it. Tasks keep the mind busy. Schedules fill the hours. Responsibilities demand attention. But when the night arrives, and the world grows quiet, the deeper needs of the heart become visible again. Perhaps you feel that need tonight. Perhaps there are areas of your life where you wish you had clearer direction. Perhaps there are decisions ahead that feel heavy. Perhaps there are situations you have tried to solve many times, yet the answers remain just beyond your reach. These moments can create frustration. They can make the mind restless. They can cause the heart to feel that it must carry more than it was meant to carry. Yet there is a quiet freedom that begins the moment a person stops pretending they can control everything. Freedom begins when the heart admits something simple and honest. I need you. These words are not a sign of defeat. They are a sign of wisdom, because acknowledging the need for God opens a door that human strength alone cannot open. It is the moment when the heart releases the pressure of having to manage every outcome. It is the moment when the soul recognizes that guidance, peace, and clarity come from a source greater than human understanding. Tonight you are allowed to say these words without hesitation. I need you. I need your peace in my thoughts. I need your wisdom in my decisions. I need your presence in the quiet places of my life. I need your strength in the areas where I feel tired. You do not need to speak these words with perfect confidence. You only need to speak them with sincerity. Even the smallest whisper of this prayer carries meaning, because throughout the history of faith, one truth appears again and again. God does not ignore the heart that sincerely calls for him. He does not turn away from the person who seeks his presence. He does not overlook the quiet voice of someone who admits their need. In fact, it is often in these moments of humility that the heart becomes most open to receiving peace. Peace does not always arrive as a sudden solution. Sometimes it begins as a quiet assurance, a gentle awareness that you are not navigating life by yourself, a growing calm that replaces the pressure to solve everything immediately. Tonight, allow yourself to release the weight of independence that the world sometimes demands. You do not have to prove your strength in this moment. You are simply invited to recognize a truth that the heart already knows. You were never meant to walk through life alone. The God who watches over the night also listens when a quiet voice says, I need you. And when those words rise from a sincere heart, something begins to change. The mind grows lighter, the spirit grows calmer, and the soul begins to rest in the presence of the one who is always near. After the heart has spoken with honesty and admitted its need, another quiet truth often appears in the silence of the night. It is the awareness that some of the weight we carry does not come only from the outside world. Some of it comes from within. During the day, it is easier to ignore this feeling. Life moves quickly. Conversations change the subject. Responsibilities demand attention. The mind stays occupied, but when the night arrives and everything becomes still, the heart sometimes remembers things it would rather forget. Words that were spoken too quickly, moments when patience was lost, decisions that later felt different than expected, situations where the outcome did not reflect the intentions of the heart. These memories can appear quietly, yet they carry weight. Not always because the mistake was large. Sometimes even small regrets can stay with a person longer than they should. The mind begins to revisit those moments. It asks questions. Why did I respond that way? Why did that conversation end the way it did? Why did I allow that situation to grow when I could have acted differently? Regret has a way of repeating these questions, and if the heart is not careful, regret can slowly turn into something heavier. It can turn into guilt. It can turn into the feeling that the past cannot be repaired. Yet the spiritual life carries a truth that releases this burden, a truth that brings light into the places where regret tries to settle. That truth is forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts that God places within the reach of every human heart, not because people never make mistakes, but because no life grows without moments that require mercy. Every person walking through life learns through experience, sometimes through success, sometimes through failure, sometimes through moments that reveal what the heart still needs to learn. But God does not measure a person only by the moments when they fall short. He sees the entire journey. He sees the intention of the heart. He sees the desire to grow, to change, and to move forward. That is why the simple prayer of forgiveness carries so much power. Forgive me. These two words release what the heart was never meant to carry forever. They do not erase the lessons of the past. They transform them. When a person sincerely asks for forgiveness, something important begins to shift inside. The heart stops fighting with its own memories. The soul stops repeating the same internal accusations. The mind begins to accept that grace exists. Grace means that the story of your life is not defined only by your weakest moments. Grace means that growth is always possible. Grace means that yesterday does not have to control tomorrow. Tonight, you can bring every regret, every mistake, every moment that still weighs on your heart into the presence of God. There is no need to hide it. There is no need to explain it perfectly. The prayer itself is simple. Forgive me. Forgive the moments when I acted without patience. Forgive the moments when fear guided my choices. Forgive the times when I spoke without understanding. Forgive the ways I may have hurt others without realizing it. Forgive the ways I may have hurt myself by carrying burdens I did not need to carry. As these words settle in the heart, something remarkable begins to happen. The tension around those memories begins to soften. The mind begins to release the pressure of perfection. The soul remembers that it is allowed to grow. Forgiveness does not humiliate the heart, it frees it. It clears the space where peace can return. Tonight, before sleep arrives, allow this doorway to open. The doorway where the heart releases the past and receives mercy. The doorway where regret no longer controls the present. And in that quiet moment, the soul begins to breathe again. After the heart releases the weight of regret and receives the quiet freedom of forgiveness, another movement begins inside the soul. It is a movement that changes the way the heart sees life. Many people spend most of their days focused on what is missing. The mind quickly notices problems, delays, unanswered questions, and situations that have not yet improved. This is natural for the human mind. It tries to identify what needs attention, what needs fixing, what needs resolution. But when the heart remains focused only on what is incomplete, something important becomes hidden from view. The quiet blessings that exist even in the middle of difficult seasons. Gratitude has a unique power within the spiritual life. It does not ignore challenges. It does not pretend that pain does not exist. Instead, gratitude opens the eyes of the heart to recognize that even in uncertain moments, life still carries gifts. Sometimes those gifts are simple: the breath that fills your lungs at this very moment, the quiet room where you are resting, the strength that carried you through another day, even if the day was not easy, the small moments of kindness that appeared unexpectedly, the lessons that shaped your character. The people who care about your life, even if they are not present in this exact moment. These things can be easy to overlook. They do not always arrive with great attention. They often appear quietly, woven into the ordinary rhythm of life. Yet when the heart begins to recognize them, something begins to change. Gratitude softens the weight of worry. Gratitude reminds the soul that life is not defined only by its struggles. It is also filled with moments of grace that deserve to be noticed. Tonight, before sleep arrives, the heart can pause and acknowledge these quiet gifts. The prayer is simple: thank you. Thank you for the life that continues to move forward, even when the path feels uncertain. Thank you for the strength that appeared during moments when you thought you had none left. Thank you for the protection you did not even realize you received. Thank you for the lessons that are shaping who you are becoming. Thank you for the doors that have opened. Thank you even for the doors that remained closed, because sometimes those closed doors protected you from paths that were not meant for your life. Gratitude also carries a deeper expression of faith. It is the ability to thank God not only for what is visible now, but also for what is still being prepared. Faith sees beyond the present moment. It trusts that the story of your life is still unfolding. It believes that what you cannot see today may become clear tomorrow. When the heart says thank you before the answer appears, it is declaring trust in the goodness of God. And that trust brings peace. The mind begins to relax, the spirit becomes lighter, the heart stops measuring life only by what is incomplete and begins to notice the evidence of care that has always been present. Tonight, allow gratitude to fill the quiet space within you. Let the words settle gently in your heart. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the breath that continues within me. Thank you for every moment of protection that surrounded my life without my awareness. Thank you for the ways you are working even now, beyond what I can see. As these words rest in your spirit, the atmosphere of the heart begins to change. Worry slowly releases its grip. Peace begins to grow stronger, and the soul prepares itself to rest under the quiet assurance that life is held within the care of God. Once the heart has expressed gratitude, another quiet desire often begins to grow inside the soul. It is the desire to hear, not the noise of the world, not the endless opinions that surround daily life, but something deeper, something steady, something that brings clarity when the mind feels uncertain. Throughout the day, many voices compete for attention. Messages arrive constantly. News, conversations, responsibilities, and expectations fill the mind with information. The world speaks loudly, sometimes so loudly that the heart forgets how to listen to what truly matters. But the night changes that atmosphere. When the world becomes quiet, the soul has the opportunity to listen again. There are moments in life when guidance is needed more than anything else, moments when a decision must be made, moments when confusion surrounds the path ahead, moments when the heart simply wants to know which direction will bring peace. In those moments, many people try to force answers through their own effort. They analyze every possibility. They replay every scenario. They try to predict every outcome. Yet the more the mind pushes for certainty, the more restless it often becomes. Clarity rarely appears through pressure. It often arrives through stillness. God does not always speak through dramatic signs. He often speaks through quiet understanding, through a thought that suddenly brings peace, through wisdom that gently rises inside the heart, through a calm awareness that one path carries more peace than another. These moments of guidance often appear when the soul becomes quiet enough to listen. Tonight, in this peaceful moment before sleep, the heart can open itself to that quiet guidance. The prayer is simple: speak to me, not with noise, not with confusion, but with the gentle clarity that brings peace to the soul. Speak to my heart. Speak to the areas of my life that need direction. Speak to the questions that I have carried without answers. Speak to the places where uncertainty has created fear. When the heart asks God to speak, it is not demanding immediate solutions. It is opening space for wisdom to grow. Sometimes that wisdom arrives during prayer. Sometimes it arrives the next morning. Sometimes it appears days later, when a situation suddenly becomes clear in a way it was not before. God often prepares the heart before revealing the answer. He strengthens understanding before showing the path. That preparation is part of the guidance. Tonight, you can release the pressure of needing to solve everything before sleep. You can release the burden of trying to control every outcome. Instead, you can place those questions gently before God and trust that He hears the sincere desire of your heart. Speak to me. Speak to my thoughts so they become calm. Speak to my decisions so they become wise. Speak to my fears so they lose their power. Speak to my future so that the path ahead becomes clear at the right moment. As these words settle within you, the heart becomes more attentive, the mind becomes more open, the spirit becomes more peaceful, because the soul begins to remember that guidance does not come only from human effort. It also comes from the quiet voice of God, who knows the path ahead even when we cannot yet see it. And in the stillness of this night, your heart becomes ready to listen. When the heart becomes quiet enough to listen, another sincere desire naturally follows. It is the desire to be led. Life is filled with many paths. Every day presents choices. Some decisions appear small, almost unimportant in the moment. Others carry weight that can shape the direction of the future. Sometimes the right path is obvious, but there are also moments when the way forward feels uncertain. Two options may stand before you, both carrying unknown outcomes. A situation may require patience, even though the heart wishes for immediate movement. A season of waiting may stretch longer than expected. During these moments, the mind often tries to force direction through effort alone. It analyzes possibilities. It searches for guarantees. It attempts to control every detail in order to avoid mistakes. But life rarely offers complete certainty before the journey begins. The path of faith is not built on having every answer. It is built on trusting that guidance exists, guidance that does not depend only on human reasoning, guidance that comes from the wisdom of God. Throughout the scriptures, one message appears again and again. God guides those who seek Him with a sincere heart, not always through loud instructions. Often through quiet alignment, through doors that open at the right moment, through doors that remain closed for reasons that become clear later, through an inner peace that grows when the heart begins moving in the right direction. This kind of guidance is gentle, but it is powerful. It leads step by step, not by revealing the entire future at once, but by giving enough light for the next step. Tonight, before sleep arrives, your heart can express this desire with a simple prayer. Guide me. Guide my thoughts so they move toward wisdom instead of fear. Guide my decisions so they reflect patience instead of pressure. Guide my path so that I walk toward the purpose prepared for my life. Sometimes, the greatest guidance God offers happens during the quiet hours when the body rests. While you sleep, your mind releases tension, your spirit becomes calm, your heart becomes more open to clarity, and in that calm space, God begins to align things within you. He strengthens your discernment, He settles confusion, He prepares your spirit for the steps that will come tomorrow. You may not wake up with every answer fully formed, but you may wake up with something just as valuable: peace about the direction ahead. A calm confidence that the next step will become clear when it is time to take it. God rarely rushes the journey of a human heart. He shapes it patiently. He guides it carefully. He prepares it for the path that will bring growth, strength, and purpose. Tonight, you do not need to map the entire road ahead. You only need to trust the one who already sees it. Let this prayer rest quietly within you. Guide me. Guide my steps, guide my heart, guide my future according to your wisdom. And as these words settle deep within your spirit, the weight of uncertainty begins to lighten. Because the heart remembers something important. The future does not depend only on your ability to figure everything out. It also rests in the hands of the God who faithfully leads those who trust Him. When the heart begins to trust the guidance of God, another quiet need often becomes visible. It is the need for healing. Not all wounds can be seen with the eyes. Some wounds live quietly within the heart. They come from words that stayed longer than expected, from disappointments that changed how trust feels, from losses that left spaces no one else can fully understand, from moments when life moved in a direction that no one planned. During the day, these wounds are often hidden beneath activity. Responsibilities require attention. Conversations move quickly. The mind focuses on what must be done next. But the night has a way of bringing deeper emotions to the surface. When everything becomes quiet, the heart sometimes remembers the places where it still feels fragile. Perhaps there are memories that still carry pain. Perhaps there are relationships that left questions behind. Perhaps there are experiences that change the way you see yourself or the way you see the future. These wounds do not always appear loudly. Sometimes they exist as a quiet heaviness, a feeling that something inside still needs restoration. Healing does not happen by pretending those wounds never existed. True healing begins when the heart acknowledges them and brings them into the presence of God. God understands every part of the human heart. He sees the wounds that others never notice. He understands the moments that shaped your fears. He knows the experiences that left their mark on your spirit, and his desire is not to leave those places untouched. His desire is to restore, to bring peace where pain once lived, to bring strength where weakness once lingered. Tonight, before sleep arrives, you can bring every wounded place of your heart before him with a simple prayer. Heal me. Heal the memories that still carry sorrow. Heal the disappointments that left my heart discouraged. Heal the fears that were born from difficult moments. Heal the parts of my life that still feel unfinished. Healing does not always arrive suddenly. Sometimes it begins quietly, like the first light before sunrise. Slow, gentle, steady. God often heals the heart through patience, through peace that gradually replaces pain, through understanding that grows over time, through new strength that slowly rises where weakness once lived. And sometimes the healing process continues even while you sleep. During rest, the body restores itself. The mind organizes the experiences of the day, and the soul becomes open to the quiet work of God. While you sleep, he can begin softening the sharp edges of painful memories. While you sleep, he can strengthen the places where your spirit once felt fragile. While you sleep, he can plant seeds of peace that will grow in the days ahead. Tonight, you do not need to force healing. You only need to open the door. You can bring every hidden wound into this moment and place it gently in the hands of God. Heal me. Heal what I understand. Heal what I do not yet understand. Heal the places in my heart that still need your peace. As these words settle within your spirit, something begins to change. The heart becomes lighter. The soul begins to breathe more freely. The past loses some of its power, and the quiet work of restoration begins. Because the God who watches over your life does not ignore the wounded places of your heart. He moves toward them with compassion. And tonight, even as you rest, that healing work can begin to grow within you. When the heart begins to experience healing, another transformation slowly unfolds inside the soul. It is the movement from fear toward trust. Fear often grows when life feels uncertain. When answers are delayed, the mind tries to imagine every possible outcome. Some of those imagined outcomes bring worry. Others create pressure. The heart begins to carry a quiet tension about what tomorrow might bring. This tension can follow a person throughout the day. It can appear in small thoughts. What if things do not work out? What if the situation becomes harder? What if the path ahead leads to disappointment? These questions can repeat themselves again and again, especially during the quiet hours of the night. Yet the spiritual journey invites the heart to walk in a different direction. It invites the heart to move from fear into trust. Trust does not mean pretending that challenges do not exist. Trust means recognizing that your life is not being carried by your strength alone. It means remembering that the God who created you also watches over your journey. There are moments when life becomes difficult to understand. Paths that seemed clear suddenly become uncertain. Doors that were expected to open remain closed. Situations that once felt stable begin to shift. In these seasons, the mind may search for explanations, but trust grows when the heart accepts that not every answer must appear immediately. Trust allows the soul to rest even while the story of life is still unfolding. The scriptures often remind us that God sees what we cannot yet see. He sees the road beyond the next turn. He understands how each moment fits into a greater purpose. Even when the present feels confusing, his perspective remains clear. Tonight, before sleep arrives, your heart can release the weight of trying to control every detail of the future. You can place those concerns gently in the hands of God. The prayer is simple. I trust. I trust that you see what I cannot see. I trust that you understand what I do not yet understand. I trust that the path ahead is not hidden from you. These words do not require perfect certainty. Trust often begins quietly. It begins as a decision to believe that God is faithful even when circumstances feel uncertain, a decision to rest in His care instead of carrying every burden alone. When the heart chooses trust, something begins to shift inside. The mind becomes calmer, the tension around the future begins to soften. The soul realizes that it does not have to fight every unknown battle tonight. Trust allows the heart to rest. It allows the mind to release the endless cycle of worry. It allows peace to enter the places where fear once lived. Tonight, allow these words to settle deeply within your spirit. I trust you with the things I understand. I trust you with the things I do not understand. I trust you with the questions that remain unanswered. I trust you with tomorrow. As you breathe slowly and allow this trust to grow, the heart begins to experience a quiet strength, not the strength that comes from controlling everything, but the strength that comes from knowing that your life rests in the hands of a faithful God. And in that trust, the soul becomes ready for the deepest surrender of all. After the heart has learned to trust, it arrives at a deeper place of peace, a place where identity becomes clear. Many struggles within the human heart come from uncertainty about where we belong. People spend years trying to prove their worth. They seek approval from others. They measure their value through success, recognition, or the expectations placed upon them. When approval is received, the heart feels strong for a moment. When approval disappears, doubt can quickly take its place. This cycle can quietly shape the way a person sees themselves. Am I enough? Am I doing the right things? Am I valued? Am I seen? These questions often live beneath the surface of daily life. They appear when comparisons arise. They appear when failures happen. They appear when the path forward feels uncertain. But the spiritual life offers a different foundation for identity, a foundation that does not depend on the opinions of the world, a foundation that does not change when circumstances change. That foundation is the truth that your life belongs to God. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. Your life is not moving through time without purpose. You were created intentionally. You were seen before you ever took your first breath. The God who watches over the night also watches over the story of your life. This truth brings a deep sense of belonging, not the temporary belonging that comes from fitting into certain places or meeting certain expectations, but the lasting belonging that comes from knowing you are held within the care of God. Tonight, your heart can rest in that truth. You do not have to prove your worth in this moment. You do not have to earn the right to be seen. You are already known. You are already valued. You are already loved. When the heart understands this, surrender becomes natural. Not a surrender of defeat, a surrender of peace. The soul no longer feels the need to carry its life alone. Instead, it places everything into the hands of the one who created it. The prayer becomes simple. I belong to you. My life belongs to you. My future belongs to you. My fears belong to you. My hopes belong to you. When these words rise from the heart, something powerful happens. The pressure to control everything begins to disappear. The fear of being alone begins to fade. The soul recognizes that it is not walking through life without guidance or care. It is walking under the watchful presence of God. This realization brings a deep calm. The heart becomes steady, the mind becomes quiet, the spirit begins to rest. Tonight, before sleep arrives, allow this truth to settle deeply within you. You are not abandoned in this world. You are not forgotten in the middle of your struggles. You belong to the God who created you, who sees your journey, and who continues to walk beside you, even in the quiet hours of the night. Let these words rest gently in your spirit. I belong to you. And in that belonging, the heart finds a peace that the world cannot take away. Now the heart has walked through each doorway: honesty, need, forgiveness, gratitude, listening, guidance, healing, trust, belonging. After these moments of surrender, something inside the soul begins to slow down. The mind that was restless at the beginning of the night starts to soften. The thoughts that once moved quickly begin to lose their urgency. The heart begins to breathe again. This is the quiet rhythm of peace. Peace does not usually arrive with noise. It arrives gently, like calm water after a storm, like the stillness that appears just before sleep. You may notice your breathing becoming slower, your shoulders relaxing, the weight you carried earlier beginning to feel lighter. This is the moment when the heart begins to rest. Not because every question has been answered, not because every situation has been resolved, but because the soul remembers that it is not facing life alone. Let these words settle slowly within you. You are not alone. Even in this quiet room, even in this silent moment, you are not alone. God is here, not far away, not distant, present, watching, caring. God is here while you breathe. God is here while your heart begins to calm. God is here while your thoughts begin to slow. The presence of God does not depend on the noise of the day. His presence remains in the stillness of the night. Let your mind rest in this truth. You do not have to hold every concern tonight. You do not have to solve tomorrow before morning arrives. You do not have to carry every responsibility into your sleep. This moment is an invitation to release. Release the tension from your thoughts. Release the pressure from your heart. Release the fear that tries to follow you into the night. Allow peace to settle deeper. Breathe slowly. Let your mind become quiet. Let your spirit rest. God is here. God is watching over your life. God is guarding the path ahead of you, even now, even in the quiet, even in the hours when the world sleeps. You are safe in His care. The scriptures remind us that the one who watches over you does not sleep. While your body rests, God remains attentive. While your mind grows calm, God continues working in ways that are beyond your sight. There are things being prepared that you cannot yet see. There are answers that are forming quietly. There are doors that will open at the right moment. Tonight you are allowed to rest. Let your heart release its grip on worry. Let your thoughts drift into calmness. Let the presence of God fill the quiet space within you. You are not alone. God is here. God is near. And tonight, as your eyes grow heavy and your mind grows peaceful, your soul can finally experience the rest it has been seeking. There is something sacred about ending the day with peace. Many people close their eyes at night while their minds are still carrying the weight of everything that happened during the day. Conversations remain unfinished in their thoughts. Responsibilities continue to echo in their minds. Worries about tomorrow follow them into the darkness. Sleep comes, but the heart remains unsettled. Yet the night can become something different. It can become a moment of restoration, a quiet ritual where the soul reconnects with peace before the body rests. Tonight you have already taken a step into that sacred space. You paused, you listened, you opened your heart. You allowed these words to guide your thoughts away from noise and back toward calmness. This moment can become more than just a single experience. It can become a habit of the soul. Each night carries the opportunity to return to this quiet place, a place where the heart remembers that it does not need to carry every burden into sleep, a place where the spirit reconnects with the presence of God. Over time, something beautiful begins to happen when this moment becomes part of your nightly rhythm. The mind begins to learn how to release tension more easily. The heart begins to recognize peace more quickly. The soul becomes familiar with the quiet presence of God that surrounds your life even in the darkest hours. Night after night, the habit of prayer becomes a gentle path toward rest, not a complicated routine, not a heavy obligation, just a simple return to the place where the heart speaks honestly and listens quietly. You may begin to notice that your sleep becomes deeper, your thoughts become calmer, your spirit wakes in the morning with greater clarity, because the final voice your heart hears before rest is no longer the voice of worry, it becomes the voice of peace. Tonight, you can allow this moment to become the beginning of that rhythm. Before sleep fully arrives, let these words settle again in your heart. I release this day. I release the worries I carried. I release the questions that remain unanswered. I place them in the hands of God. Tomorrow will arrive in its own time. The path ahead will become clear step by step. Tonight is not the moment for striving. Tonight is the moment for resting. Let your breathing slow. Let your body relax into the quiet. Let your thoughts drift gently away from the pressures of the day. The presence of God remains with you, watching, guarding, strengthening your heart in ways you may not fully notice until tomorrow. Return to this place whenever the night feels heavy. Return to this quiet prayer whenever your thoughts feel restless. Let it become a refuge, a place where your soul remembers that peace is not something you must chase. Peace is something that grows when the heart rests in the presence of God. And tonight, that peace is already surrounding you. There comes a moment when the heart stops searching and simply remembers who it truly is. After walking through honesty, surrender, forgiveness, gratitude, and trust, the soul begins to see itself differently. The fears that once felt overwhelming begin to lose their voice. The doubts that once filled the mind begin to grow quiet, and in that quiet, something powerful becomes clear. Your identity was never meant to be defined by your worries. It was never meant to be determined by the difficult moments you faced. It was never meant to be shaped only by the opinions of others or by the uncertainty of circumstances. Your identity begins with something deeper. You belong to God. This truth changes the way the heart experiences the night. When a person believes they are alone, the darkness feels heavy. When a person believes they must carry life by themselves, every problem feels larger. But when the heart remembers that it belongs to God, a different peace begins to rise. A peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances. A peace that remains steady even when life is still unfolding. Tonight, allow these words to become a declaration within your heart. Not rushed, not forced, just spoken slowly with quiet conviction. I'm not alone. God sees my life. God understands the battles I have faced. God knows the questions that still live in my heart. Nothing about my story is hidden from Him. Every step I have taken has been seen. Every tear has been noticed. Every silent prayer has been heard. And because I belong to God, my life is not without purpose. My future is not empty. My path is not forgotten. Even when I cannot see the full picture, God is guiding the story of my life. Let these words settle deeper. God is watching over me. God is protecting my life. God is strengthening my heart. God is preparing the road ahead. Each of these truths becomes a quiet anchor for the soul. They remind the heart that it does not need to live under the weight of fear. They remind the mind that tomorrow is not outside the care of God. Tonight, as the body prepares for sleep, allow this identity to rest within you. You are not defined by your struggles. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by the uncertainty of the future. You are defined by the love of the God who created you, the God who watches over your life, the God who remains present even in the quiet hours of the night. And as this truth fills your spirit, a calm confidence begins to replace the tension that once lived there. The heart grows steady, the mind grows peaceful, the soul becomes ready to rest. Let these final words become your quiet declaration before sleep. I will rest tonight. I will release the weight of worry. I will trust the care of God. because my life belongs to him, and in his presence my heart is safe. Now allow your heart to become quiet as we enter a moment of prayer. This is not a rushed moment. It is a sacred moment, a moment where the heart rests in the presence of God before sleep arrives. Let your breathing become calm. Let every thought that still carries tension begin to settle. And in this quiet atmosphere, we pray. Father, tonight we come before you with open hearts. You see every person listening in this moment. You know the story behind their silence. You know the battles they have faced today. You know the thoughts that filled their minds when the room became quiet. Nothing about their life is hidden from you. You see the burdens they carried that no one else noticed. You understand the fears they tried to hide during the day. You know the questions they have been asking inside their hearts. Tonight, we place all of those things into your hands. Father, bring peace to every restless mind. Where anxiety has been whispering, let your calm voice speak louder. Where worry has been repeating the same fears, let your presence bring stillness. Let every racing thought begin to slow. Let every troubled heart begin to rest. For those who feel tired deep within their spirit, give them renewed strength. For those who feel uncertain about the future, give them quiet confidence that you are guiding their path. For those who feel alone tonight, remind them that your presence surrounds them, even in this silent moment. Father, we ask for healing where the heart has been wounded. Heal memories that still carry pain. Heal disappointments that have left scars. Heal the places where fear has grown from past experiences. Let your peace gently restore what life has worn down. We ask for protection over every person listening to this prayer. Guard their homes tonight. Guard their families. Guard their thoughts and their dreams. Let no fear follow them into the night. Let no darkness disturb their rest. Surround them with the quiet protection of your presence. While they sleep, strengthen their spirit. While they sleep, renew their hope. While they sleep, prepare the path for the days that are ahead. Father, there are situations in their lives that feel unresolved, questions that still wait for answers, doors that have not yet opened. Tonight we trust that you are already working in ways we cannot see, even in the silence, even in the waiting, even in the moments when the future feels uncertain. You are faithful. Let tomorrow bring new strength. Let tomorrow bring clarity where confusion once lived. Let tomorrow carry the quiet evidence that you are guiding their steps. And now, Father, we ask for one final gift tonight. Give every listener peaceful rest. Let their minds release the weight of today. Let their hearts feel safe in your care. Let their sleep be deep and undisturbed. And when the morning comes, let them wake with renewed hope and quiet confidence that you were working even while they slept. We place this night into your hands. We place our lives into your hands, and we rest in the peace that only you can give. Amen. Before you allow sleep to fully arrive tonight, take one more quiet moment with me. There is something powerful about declaring faith with your own words. Throughout history, believers have strengthened their hearts by speaking simple truths out loud. These words become anchors for the soul. They remind the heart what it chooses to believe, even when emotions are still learning to follow. Tonight, after everything we have walked through together, there is a simple declaration that can settle deeply within your spirit. A declaration of trust. A declaration that your life is not moving forward alone. Let these words form gently in your heart. I trust in God, even when the road ahead is not fully clear. I trust in God, even when some questions remain unanswered. I trust in God, even when the night feels long and the future feels uncertain. This declaration is not about pretending that life has no challenges. It is about remembering that those challenges do not have the final word. God does. Every time a person declares trust in God, the heart becomes stronger. Fear loses a little more of its influence. Peace grows a little deeper. Hope becomes a little brighter. And when many hearts make that declaration together, something beautiful happens. Faith begins to spread. One voice encourages another. One testimony strengthens someone who may be struggling quietly. Tonight, if this prayer has touched your heart, you can take a small but meaningful step. Write these simple words in the comments. I trust in God. These words may seem small, but they carry powerful meaning. Someone who reads your comment tomorrow may feel encouraged. Someone who is struggling tonight may see your declaration and remember that they are not alone. Your words may become a light for another heart that needed to see hope. Faith grows when it is shared. Peace spreads when it is spoken. And tonight, this simple declaration can become a quiet testimony that God is still working in the hearts of those who trust Him. As you prepare to rest, allow these words to settle one more time within your spirit. I trust in God. The future rests in His hands. The night rests in His care, and my heart can rest in His peace. As this moment of prayer comes to a close and the night continues to grow quiet around you, remember that you are not alone in this journey of faith. There are many hearts across the world that also search for peace before sleep. People who carry worries during the day and long for a place where their souls can rest at night. Moments like this prayer become more than just words spoken into the silence. They become a refuge, a place where the mind can slow down, a place where the heart can release its burdens, a place where faith becomes stronger little by little. If this prayer brought calm to your heart tonight, you can help this moment reach someone else who may need the same peace. There may be someone in your life who is lying awake tonight with a restless mind. Someone carrying worries they have not shared with anyone. Someone who needs a reminder that God is near, even in the quiet hours of the night. Sharing this prayer with them can become a simple act of kindness. Sometimes a single message can arrive at the exact moment when another person needs encouragement. Sometimes a shared prayer becomes the comfort someone was searching for in silence. You never know whose heart may be strengthened by the words you pass along. If this space has helped you find peace tonight, you can also return here whenever the night feels heavy. Each prayer on this channel is meant to be a place of refuge, a place where faith grows, a place where hearts reconnect with the presence of God. Subscribing allows you to return easily whenever you need a moment of calm before sleep. Night after night, these prayers can become part of your rhythm of rest. A gentle reminder that every day can end in peace, no matter what challenges appeared along the way. The more hearts that gather in moments like this, the more encouragement spreads to others who may be searching quietly. Your presence here is part of that encouragement. Your faith strengthens this space, and your willingness to return to prayer keeps your heart connected to the peace that God offers. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, carry this peace with you. Let the quiet presence of God remain with you. Let your thoughts drift into calmness. Let your heart feel safe under His care, because even when this prayer ends, the presence of God does not leave. He remains with you through the night, watching, guarding, strengthening your heart for the day that will come. Rest now. You are not alone. God is still working even while you sleep. Before the night fully carries you into sleep, receive this final blessing over your heart. Let your body remain still. Let your breathing stay slow and gentle. Let your mind rest quietly as these words settle within you. May the peace of God surround you tonight. May every anxious thought lose its strength. May every worry that tried to follow you into this night gently fade away. May your heart remember that it is held in the care of a faithful God. May your mind release the weight of today, the conversations that troubled you, the responsibilities that exhausted you, the questions that still wait for answers. Let them rest now. Place them gently into the hands of God. He sees what you cannot yet see. He understands what you cannot yet understand. And He is already preparing what you will need for tomorrow. May your home be filled with quiet protection tonight. May peace settle over every room. May your rest be undisturbed. May no fear approach your mind. May no trouble disturb your sleep. May the presence of God stand watch over your life while you rest. As your eyes grow heavier and your thoughts become calm, may your soul experience deep restoration. May your body recover strength. May your spirit be renewed. May your heart wake tomorrow with greater hope than it carried today. The night is not empty. Even now, while you rest, God continues his work. He restores what has been worn down. He strengthens what has grown tired. He prepares what is still ahead of you. When morning arrives, may light enter your life with new clarity. May you wake with quiet confidence that you are not walking through life alone. May your steps tomorrow be guided with wisdom. May your heart remain steady with faith. And may the peace you felt in this moment stay with you throughout the day that will come. Now allow your thoughts to become still. Allow the silence of the night to gently carry you into rest. God is watching over you. God is near. And tonight, your heart can sleep in peace. Now the night becomes even quieter. The words have been spoken. The heart has opened. The burdens that once filled your thoughts have been gently placed into the hands of God. There is nothing more you need to carry in this moment. Let your breathing move slowly. Feel the calm that has entered your mind. The tension that was once in your chest begins to fade. The thoughts that were racing earlier no longer need your attention. You have released them, you have prayed, you have trusted. Now the soul is free to rest. The room around you is quiet. The night outside continues its slow rhythm. And in this stillness, peace settles deeper into your heart. You do not need to think about tomorrow. Tomorrow will arrive in its own time. You do not need to solve every problem tonight. Some answers appear when the mind is rested. Some doors open when the heart is calm. God is already watching over the path ahead. Let your mind rest in that truth. As your eyes remain closed, allow your body to sink gently into rest. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breathing become softer. Let your thoughts drift further away. God is here, watching over your life, guarding your home, protecting your heart, even now. Even in the quiet hours when the world sleeps, you are not alone in this night. The same God who carried you through the day is still near. His presence remains steady. His care does not fade. His watch never ends. You can rest without fear. You can sleep without worry, because the one who watches over you never sleeps. And while your body restores itself tonight, God continues to work in ways that are beyond what you can see. Strength is being renewed. Peace is settling deeper into your heart. Tomorrow is already being prepared. So now, allow the silence of the night to fully embrace you. Allow your mind to drift into stillness. Allow your heart to rest completely. Sleep peacefully. God is watching over you, and you are safe in His care.